Excuse me. So, we first of all want to thank you for coming out this morning, and we're delighted. I want to ask you just about 4 questions to see what your response is. The first question is an obvious question. What do you attribute your longevity to, living so long? How have you done that?
Karate.
I can't say I did anything special, but I always, we did always prepare my own food. And at the time, we didn't have those fast food places for these kids to eat. So that means that I had to cook, well, 3 meals a day when they were all home. Then we never drank or smoked. And later years, around I was about 60, we started cutting back on our salt. Didn't fry any food, we baked.
Mercy.
Everything. And I ate plenty of vegetables.
That's wonderful. Now, did you grow up in Harrisburg?
No, I was born in Georgia.
In what part of Georgia?
Cuthbert.
Cuthbert. Wonderful.
I came up north when I was about 10.
About 10.
But I remember a lot of, things that my parents did. They were sharecropper. My father was a sharecropper.
Praise God.
And when my mother worked out in the fields and picked cotton.
Mercy. Now, when did you meet your husband?
Oh, we met in Cypress-town, a little town called Cypress-town.
Down around Cameron Street off of her.
Yeah.
Down between that and down to Calder.
Yeah, he would tell you that he met me through my brother.
Okay.
So my brother, he was liking a girl, and my brother was liking the same girl. So he said my brother told him, I have a sister. He said, you'll meet my sweetest girl alone, and I'll introduce you to her.
That's a good story.
That's what he did.
That's a good story. Praise God for that.
Yeah, in some kind of way we came together.
And so, how many years do y'all have now?
About 73.
73. Isn't that wonderful?
We got married very young.
Back
then the parents didn't care if the kids got married young.
Yeah.
From the South, they used to let you get married young.
Yes, ma'am. 73 years is a miracle. Now, I have another question to ask, and that is, did you ever think that you would live to see an African American president?
No, I did not really. I never really thought much about it. But I always wished that we could have a president, a black president.
Yes.
Yes.
And when we got a black president, how did it make you feel?
I was overjoyed because it just felt that someone from the black race had accomplished, that much to be president.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Now tell me, did you live through part of the Depression?
It was back in 1937.
39. Actually, it started in 29, but it went for about 10, 15 years.
Yeah, we came up here, up north in 37.
Okay.
So when we came up north, people was on welfare, what they call it, something.
WPA.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And they would give people, I think they gave people clothes and different things. We came up during that time. And we did have to get some things from them.
Was it much different than your normal lifestyle, though?
No, we were very, very poor.
Yes, most of us
Coming
were.
in from the South.
Yes, most of us were.
Very poor. We didn't have much.
Yeah.
And my mother came up, she had to find, my uncle let us come up and live in his house until my parents found a place for us to live.
Oh, that's beautiful. Now, my last 2 questions. One of them is, do you have a favorite Bible verse?
The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want.
Praise God. Psalm 23.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And my last question is, do you have any wisdom for living? Something that you would share with someone that would help them live a fruitful life like the life you've lived?
First of all, just that they be kind,
Mercy.
and loving toward other people, forgiving,
Yes.
and sharing,
Yes.
and helping them people in need.
Yes. Helping one another.
Yes.
Helping one another. Well, Mother, we want to thank you, Mike. This has been a tremendous interview. We want to thank you so much. And can we get a hug?
Yes.
Praise his holy name. Wonderful. Thank you so much.
So that helps.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am. That's very helpful.
I'm gonna get the David
Yes.
because the daughter Mary said she wanted to do something. I did take the picture, but that's not the shot we're gonna use. But your daughter said she wanted to do something.
Well, I don't know if I can take my hat off. I didn't roll my hair off.
But she's going to straighten your hair out, she said. That's
She
what it was.
can't because I don't have
Come on,
curls.
Dave, go in here and you can get you situated.
I don't have any curls. It's just-
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You still have your hair. That's
So many people don't have
So
no.
many people have it. You know, I've always said that black women do three things with their hair. They fry it, they dye it, and they buy it.
My hair got very thin as I got it. Well, I used to have a lot of hair.
Mr. David, we're going to sit over here. Mother, we're going to let him sit right where you're at.
Mother can't get down that low, so that's what she got his.
Oh, so he's going to sit up there?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Go ahead, man. You're a bad man.
Well, can he sit up there?
Yeah, I ain't that.
Now,
I ain't that.
You all together everywhere.
Ain't that weak.
Dave, you want to take your jacket off?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll get that. Don't worry about it.
Where is she at?
She's on the porch talking.
Well, you had to
So-
get in there.
So, Mr. David Waters of the historic Waters family of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, a family of great men and second and third generation great men, left a lasting impression on the city of Harrisburg as people of character, of good moral
You
values.
know, we tried to.
You did it. You did it. You've done it. Now, your bride told me that she met you because her brother and you were after the same young woman.
Yep.
And so he suggested that you meet his sister if you stop chasing the other woman.
Yep.
Is that how it happened?
Yep.
Oh my goodness. And that was 73 years ago.
Yep.
Isn't that something? Over 73 years ago. Actually, y'all didn't get married right away, but
Yeah.
soon. So now I have a few questions for you, Mr. David. First and foremost, I want to ask you how, what do you attribute your longevity to? How is it that you've lived to be 93 years old?
Because I always stayed active, boxing and running. I used to run. And like that. And I didn't drink. The only thing I drank was wine.
Okay.
That's about it.
You didn't drink or smoke?
No, I never did smoke.
Yes.
When I drank, but I never drank any wine. Till one Christmas Eve, you know, people go around and say, here comes the biggest drunkard in Harrisburg. What do you got to drink? I said, cold water and lemonade. What?
Yeah.
Then I started-
They stopped coming by.
then I started keeping wine.
Now your wife tells me she makes a wonderful diet and has a wonderful diet that she follows and that you follow because she makes all of her own food. You don't eat out, you don't
No,
eat fast
very
food,
seldom.
and you eat a lot of vegetables and not fried foods. You bake it,
That's right.
so she's taking care of you. She must like you a lot.
I believe so.
So
But
now,
I wasn't after her. I was after another girl.
yeah,
And her brother said, if you leave her alone, I introduce you to my sister.
yeah.
That's what
And that was the best thing that ever happened for you.
Yeah.
That's the best thing that ever happened. So now tell me, you lived through the Depression.
Yep.
What is your impression about the Depression? in terms of the regular lifestyle that black people had during that time?
It changed it to a small degree, but we lived with neighbors that helped each other. But most of the old women, like my mother, couldn't read, but they could cook. And that's how we made it. Yeah. Then we had gardens. We had our own garden, you know, grow our own stuff.
Yes.
Then my father used to have the contractor clean the streets when the creeks was dirt and picking up the trash with the horses. So that meant a lot too.
So, but it wasn't that much different than how y'all regularly lived anyway.
No.
Yeah. So now give us some secrets. Well, before that, let me ask you this question. Did you ever think that you would live to see an African American, black, Negro, colored president?
No, I don't think anybody else did either.
And what did it do to you when you finally saw one?
Oh man, a nightmare made me smile.
Did he do a good job?
Huh?
Did he do a good job as
Did he
president?
do a good job?
Yes.
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 No doubt.
No doubt about it. Now, could you give us some one of your favorite Bible verses?
Well, I'd say, we're saying that I'll say our Father who is in heaven.
Okay.
God bless everybody, you know.
Good.
In a sense, yeah.
Good. The prayer that Jesus taught the disciples. Your wife likes the 23rd Psalm too. Yes. Yes, the Lord is my shepherd.
Yeah, I say that, yeah.
That's beautiful.
That's it.
Now, if you had to give someone some advice on how to live a long and productive life, what would that advice be?
If you don't earn work and get any kind of job they give you, it was only temporary. Because if you stay there long enough and you're a good worker, they're going to make you a regular employee. See, I started out washing dishes. But at least I was making some money. That's what you can't tell these kids. They went around bumming. I told the guy, I said, I'll give you a nickel. That's all I give them.
So get a job.
Huh?
You need a job.
Yeah.
That's one thing. What else?
But I tell them, go around and clean up people's yards, and people let them clean up and pay them.
Yeah.
But some of them just don't want to do nothing.
Yes.
And I don't give them nothing either.
No, that would be foolish.
I might give them a nickel, and that's about it.
So get a job. That's one thing that they should do. Anything else in order to live a long, full, rich life like you?
Yeah. Drink a little wine or a little whiskey if you like, but don't get drunk every day of the week.
Moderation.
Yeah, sitting around in the bar waiting on somebody to come in to get a drink. And I seen a guy coming in here, hey man, I need a drink. He had a jar. The guy gave me some wine. He poured it in, somebody gave me a shot of whiskey. Had it all mixed together. When they found out, they stopped and said, it's not that, but you're too cheap. See, I hate people that got money that are cheap.
I hear you. So get a job, stay focused, don't drink. What about a philosophy of life? Something, that you've lived by.
I live by treating everybody up the way you want to be. If I treat you right, you treat me right.
Good.
If you don't like me, I'm still going to say good morning to you. I did that to a guy. One morning, he said, hey man, come sit on the step. He said, I don't know why I did that. That's all right. See, but you can't make people like you. You got brothers and sisters that like each other.
Isn't that right? Isn't that right? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
right.
those are 3 good lessons. Get a job. That's important. Don't drink or
Regardless
smoke.
what other the job is.
Yeah. And treat people the way you want to be
That's
treated.
right.
That's sort of the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do
That's
unto
right.
you.
Right.
Well, listen, it's been a joy talking with you this morning. We're so glad that you're still on the planet and still able to share in a way that benefits our own person and those that come into contact with you.
Yeah, I appreciate being here.
Yeah, we appreciate you. Just stay there for a few minutes while Mike takes the pictures.
Well,
And we thank so
I
much.
want to do something with moms.
There's the boss right there.
Okay, that's one of the bosses now.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
That's the main one.
Okay.
You want to have your hat on for the,
Oh, yes, the hell yeah.
Marty, let me, you,
I
did
like
you bring
to
the
do
next
it.
step?